So for this video we're going to go through this question on page 6 of the graphics book. So it tells us figure 1.15 shows the plan and elevation of an object which has been cut by a vertical plane as shown. So you can see there's our elevation, there's our plan, and it's been cut at an angle there. First part then tells us draw the given views, so very simple, our elevation and our plan. And then it says part 2, draw an auxiliary elevation of the object that will show the cut surface as a true shape. So what we want to do is create another elevation, which is going to be here in our answer, showing that cut surface in pink there as a true shape. So the first thing is always, you work out where your auxiliary elevation is going to go. So you can see in the answer there, it's going to go off to the left. The plane is cut at an angle there, 30 degrees. So we're going to be looking in that direction there. So on my page, I'm going to keep everything over to the right hand side. If I kept this too close to the left, I'd end up going off the page by the time I get my auxiliary elevation drawn in there. And the key thing to remember for an auxiliary elevation, we always go 2 views back for our measurements. So we get our heights here, we go back 1 view into our plan, 2 views into our elevation. So we go from our XY line up to get all of those measurements there. So this question will also be posted in the classroom for you, so you'll see the measurements as well up close. So I'm going to position this on the bottom right of my page. So the first thing I have is my 50mm for my plan. So I'm just going to come up a little bit from the bottom there so you can see it. I'll draw a light line across. I'm just going to come in a little bit there, maybe about 30mm. And I'm going to draw out a box for my plan and my elevation. So the width of my elevation in total is going to be 80 plus 10 plus 10, which is 100. So the total width of my elevation and plan is 100mm. I'm going to take these up lightly. And then the thickness of the plan is going to be 50. So I go up 50 there, take a line across. And I'm going to put a gap between the two. So I'm going to go about maybe 30mm in between the 2 views. And this is going to be my XY line here. I'll draw that in heavy. The height of my elevation is 40 plus 10, which gives me 50. And there I now have my 2 boxes to fit my elevation and plan in. So all I have to do now is go by the measurements that are given. So for the elevation first, I come in 10 from each end. So 10 there, 10 there. And take my lines down. And then I have a radius 30 from the very centre. So go halfway across, 50. And then I set my compass 30mm and draw my radius there. After that then, I can take my heights, which are 40 and 10, which gives a total of 50. So 40 and 10 there. I can now start to draw the outline of the bridge. So that line goes across to there. It's going to go up, out, up, and then across all the way. And that's a mirror link on the other side then. Goes down, in and down again. And for now, that's what I'm going to draw, because I can't get my last line, you see there, can't get that last line yet until I get my 30-degree cut on the plan below. So for the plan, the back and the front and the side of the surface is going to be cut, and the cut starts when I go 10mm down from the back. The plan, and it goes at 30 degrees all the way until it hits the front there. across all the way there and up here. So a bit of hidden detail. You can see this overhanging the entire bridge. So this line coming down, that edge there is going to be hidden detail there. The exact same on the other side. Hidden detail here to where the cut is. The radius 30, when I take that down, there and there, once again, I'm going to have hidden detail. I can't see it because the top is covering it. What I can now draw is, in my elevation, is take this line up from where the cut is, and that gives me where the cut ends on the front surface there. So all that part has been cut away there, you can see on the front by that 30-degree angle. The last thing we'll do is label my views here. So there's my elevation, and there's my plan. And to show the cut surface, what I can do is I can just use colour to represent it. So just use this orange colour here to represent what's been cut away. And I'll do the same in plan. I'll just use an orange line to draw where that cut surface is. So that's part A complete. So drawing the given views. Now for an auxiliary elevation, we always go perpendicular to the cut surface. So we're going to be looking in this direction here, perpendicular. So if that's at 30 degrees, we're going to be going off 60 degrees to get a 90-degree angle. Now as always, I always take out my furthest points first, get the widest part of my auxiliary elevation. Then I'm going to set my x1, y1 line for my auxiliary view. So I'll set it here. There's my x1, y1 line. I have plenty of space here. The highest point I'm going to have is here. I have plenty room on my page. Obviously, the higher up you go, the less space you're going to have as a result. Now, all it's a matter of doing is taking each of our points up and taking our heights across. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the cut surface. So the first thing I have for my cut surface is this point here. I follow it up and I get my height from my elevation. So that point there, I follow it up. I have two heights on that line. I have this height here, follow it down, follow it up, there, go back down, go back up, and I have this height here. So you can see I'm making sure I'm going on the right line, because the amount of lines you're going to be taking up here, you might lose track of which one you're supposed to be measuring from. So I always take it down like this and up that way, so I don't make a mistake. So there's my first 2 points. Next point I have is going to be my point on the ground here and the point above it here. So it's this line. Follow it up at 60 degrees. Follow it down, it's on the ground there, it's on the ground there. Height wise, that's my height there, same as the one previously that was over here. Follow it down, follow it up. What I can do is I can start connecting them together. What I'm starting to draw is the true shape of that cut surface. So basically this view here is what I'm redrawing. So everything that I see in orange, that goes all the way to the ground. Next one, as I follow along that line, is this point here. take it up at 60, follow it up. It's that point only on the ground. So there it is there. And I'm going to go to the other end then and do the curve after that. So all the way to this end here, follow it down, take it up at 60 degrees, that point there. So for the curve, we're going to have to plot our own points. So to do this, we're going to divide it up into 30-60. So 30 degrees out there gives me a point. 60 degrees up here gives me that point. 30 degrees this way gives me that point. 60 degrees this way gives me that point. And straight up there gives me that point. So I need to plot my own points in order to draw an accurate curve. I couldn't just take these 2 points and draw a freehand curve there. I get a few more points to make it more accurate. So I can label it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I already have 0 there and 6 there. Now for point 1, follow it down. It touches the front surface just there. Take it up, and we take the height of 1 all the way down, all the way up. There's point 1. And we do the exact same for the rest of them, all the way from 2 to 6. So 2 goes down, it hits the cut surface there. So originally it was at the very front before it was cut away. We take that up. Take our height once again. Follow 2 down, 2 up. You can see I'm labeling it as I go. I should label it here too. There's where 2 was, there's where 1, there's where 0 was. Now 3. Take it down, take the curve, up at 60 degrees. Take my height, follow it down, follow it up. And then I'm going to repeat it for 4 and 5 as well. So there's 4 there. There's my height for 4. Follow it down, follow it up. And then 5 down. Goes to there. Out at 60 degrees. Get my height, follow it down, follow it up. And now what I can do is, I can connect them together and draw a nice neat freehand curve. Just like that there. And then afterwards, we can go over it heavy. So after that then, now that the curve drawn front, I can continue with the cut surface. So I'm looking for this line here, and it hits off the curve between 1 and 2 somewhere here. So to find the exact point, I follow it down, it's there, I take it up to the bottom point, this one is here, top point, I take my height, I follow it down, I follow it up. Now I have that line there. And that goes all the way back to my first point over here, which is up in that part there. What I've now drawn in is the true shape of the cut surface. So that's where I'm going to get most of my marks if I was asked this in a question, getting that cut surface. And now what I want to do is draw the rest of the object then. So I want to complete the rest of the front part here. And because at an angle, we're going to see part of the back and the side, or sorry, part of the side of it as well. So we're going to see this side view here. So when we look in this way, we're going to see part of this here as well. So I'm going to finish off this bit here. So from 0 across, I have this point here on the ground. I follow it down. And I take it up. So 2 points. One is on the ground. There it is there. The other point is up here. Take my height. Go down. Bring it up. And then my next one is my outer point here. Follow it down, bring it up, I already have it there, so all I need to do is take my 2 heights. First one is the exact same as the previous one. Second one is my top point, which is going to line up out here. So I can take that across, down, back in, and down again. So you can now see that surface there, that's what it looks like when we view it from the cutting angle. Now, for the little extra bits, there's this bit here that we're going to see. That's basically the side of the bridge. So I'm going to have 2 more points, same height as we have here and here. I already have my first ones. They're already set there. Now I go back to this one here. And I can see that my heights are very similar again. I'm just going to mark them off anyway. Follow it down, follow it up. Sorry, and this one here. And then the next one. Follow it down, follow it up. So it's just sticking out a slight bit, but we can still see part of that bridge there. We're also going to be able to see part of the back curve of the bridge. So when we look in this way, we can see there's 0 on the ground back here. We'll be able to see that when we look through. And then we'll plot the rest of our points across until we can't see any more of it when it gets hidden by the rest of the bridge. So 1 is going to be there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there, and 6 on the ground is there. So we'll plot them across and see when we draw our curve where it ends, and the rest is blocked from view. And we have the same heights as well. We're taking these exact same heights for the curve on the back as well. So 0 on the ground, we take it up, it hits that point there. 1, it's on that line there. Take my height, follow it down, follow it up. So you can see why it's important to use your compass to help you, the amount of lines we've now drawn here. Next one is 2. 2 goes up there. Take my height, follow it down, follow it up. There's 2 there. 3, follow it down, goes up there. Take my height, follow it down, follow it up. You can see 3 is where it's going to disappear from view then. So I'm just going to take those points there. That's all I need. And then afterwards I draw in heavy what I can see. So it stops at that point there. So the rest of the curve, that'll be hidden detail, but we don't need to show that in our answer. So that completes that question there. So hopefully it helps anyone who may be stuck on it.